You saw President Barack Obama make his pitch tonight. Did he make a convincing case for 4 more years? Well, joining us to give us their take on how the president did tonight, David Woodward, a Democratic commissioner from Royal Oak, and Paul Welday, a Republican consultant. Thank you both for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
With you.
All right, so it's your party speaking tonight, sir. We'll go ahead and give you the shot at first critique.
Well, I mean, I think President Obama did an incredible job. I mean, laid out a very clear path forward, looking towards building an economy. Focused on improving the lives of middle-class families and working out from there, building an economy meant to last. He talked about and harnessing the ability to build things again in America and educating our young people and even those who displaced out of this workforce and getting them back into the workforce and really harnessing education and leading the world. I think it was fantastic. Laid out a clear choice, and I think that voters came away understanding that.
Paul?
Well, I was a little underwhelmed by the speech, to be honest with you. Certainly when you contrast it last night with President Clinton and even with Michelle Obama's speech on Monday. What you're seeing here is a president who's trying to move this away from a referendum on his administration over the last 4 years and to try to make some sort of a choice where they're the bad guys, we're the good guys. I'm just not sure it's going to work. That attitude of, you know, don't change horses in the middle of the stream when that horse is drowning in debt and drowning in unemployment. I think it's going to be a very tough case for the president to move forward.
Now, I was going to say, the auto industry has really been a big focus, not only here, as you would expect it to be, but nationally. Now, did the president make the case that he saved the auto industry, and had he not stepped in, then it would have died? Well,
I mean, I think over the convention, I mean, you heard that, and I think he brought it up there. We're building cars again. The domestic auto industry is on top of the world, where we're growing, have opportunity to grow on that front. And there's no question. I mean, when his opponent Mitt Romney advocated for Detroit to fail and to go bankrupt, President Obama stepped up, saved the auto industry. There are people in this state, and particularly in the Midwest, that have jobs today because the president stepped up and did the unpopular thing, which is really what he talked about today, that he's had to make tough choices to get things back on course. He's laid the foundation. We're on the right path. We've got to stay that course.
Paul, of course, Republicans always say, are we better off now that we are 4 years later? But tonight he said he ended the war in Iraq. He said Osama bin Laden is dead. He also said GM is alive. What's your take on that?
Well, again, I think this is a small approach to looking at the problem. The General Motors issue, and there they go again. The fact is that Mitt Romney never said that Detroit should go bankrupt. He said we ought to respect bankruptcy law, which has been in existence for hundreds of years here. And the fact of the matter is the people who saved the auto industry were the auto workers themselves, not Barack Obama and the Democrats. They're trying to take credit for it because they have very little else to point to. And I think, again, people are seeing through that.
You praised President Clinton, but President Clinton today said on tape that there are 80,000 more jobs in the auto industry because of President Obama.
Well, you know, what President Clinton is also not counting are all the jobs that are lost by all the dealerships, the people that Joe Biden's father, you didn't hear it in prime time, but the folks who were the mechanics, the auto salesmen, the people who run those dealerships, drive around Metro Detroit and see how many of those are shuttered up as a result of this closure.
So the speech is not going to change anybody's mind or just solidifying?
I think it is going to change people's minds. I think this whole convention, yesterday laying out the case of what was put in place to get to where we are today and a path forward, a clear choice that we can either go the direction of helping middle-class families be able to make it and really attain the American dream, or we can roll back the clock and really, as the president talked about, the prescription that Republicans have been using in this country for the last 30 years and recycle it. It's what got us in this problem in the first place.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you one other thing. There was that 9.5-minute video that a lot of people talked about. It was really, really emotional. And the president talked about his mother dying of cancer because she couldn't pay for health care. That's a big issue in this year's election. Did he hit home with people tonight? Because he said that's the reason he fought for so-called Obamacare.
I think, there are kids who have health care now. Kids can't be denied for a pre-existing condition. Women, expanded coverages on that front, across the board, closing the donut hole. You look at it, that there are more people with health care today that wouldn't have it otherwise.
And I'm thinking Paul may not agree.
Well, I don't agree, because what I've seen was a Barack Obama who's gone from yes, we can, to a President Obama who's now no, we can't. And that's what's happened over the last 4 years, is that we have not made a case, he has not made a case for re-election, so he's trying to point fingers at the other guy, and that rarely works when you're in the incumbent.
Paul Welday, Dave Woodward, thank you both for coming in and spending an hour watching the speech and coming in and talking with us about it.
Thanks for having us.
We'll have to see what the voters have to say in November, right?